Hello, family. Happy Monday. Hope everyone's doing well today. Give us a moment to get situated. And looks like a wonderful CEO is getting us all together with our live streams. We have some amazing guests here this evening. So give us just a moment to get ourselves situated. We're so grateful you all joined us tonight. Oh, Janice, let me turn myself up. Let's see what's going on here.
Hey, everybody.
Cherie. Janice, it could just be I'm not as loud as normal. I had a tooth pulled last Wednesday and I'm still in a little bit of pain. So I can't get as rowdy as I normally do. So I'll try to scoot up a little bit so you can hear better.
How is everybody doing
And
today?
hello, Cherie's hair. Come through hair.
It's a little too Diana Ross for me. My stylist, after a year plus, went a little crazy on me.
I love it. You are giving us mahogany vibes. I love it.
It is definitely mahogany. Y'all get it for 3 weeks and then we switching it back up to something tamer. But Antoine, you're also available to come on. I promoted you a panelist, waiting for Ashley here. Thank you so much, everybody, saying it looks nice for sure. Hey, Eddie. Everybody, yes, put your city and state in the chat. You know how we do it. Put your city and state in the chat so we can say hello to everybody today. Yes, my girl Tawana is going to be a little quieter tonight, but that's okay because we have two super huge guests. So Antoine, I don't see Ashley in the session yet. I know I sent her the Zoom link, but you may want to text her.
Hello, Miss.
Oh, all right, everybody. We've got Happy Blessed Monday. Hey, Joshua, same to you. We got Philly in the house. We've got Vegas. Vegas is about to be on, all sorts of stuff. It's just summer, so it's going to be a hot people summer, not just a hot girl summer.
Yeah.
Trent is saying, hey, from Suffolk, Virginia. I know where that is. How you doing? We got Georgia in the house, Atlanta, Austell, Georgia, Kalamazoo, Michigan. Janice is saying no's on her, so, or Janice, I'm sorry. So hello, Miss Vivian, how you doing? We're doing great. I was out with my young grandchildren taking a long walk. They're watching the 10K project now. We love it. Nice. Tonight's session is going to be fire for sure. So hello, Sandrine saying, are you kidding? You look amazing. Well, thank you so much. Yes, mahogany vibes in the house today. We've got Houston, Texas. We've got Denver. Hey, Walter. We've got New Jersey, we've got Boston, DC, Massachusetts, Georgia, Florida, California, Virginia, another Georgia, Texas, Pennsylvania, Virginia, more Virginia. Virginia showing up today.
Tonight.
Virginia and Georgia may be in the battle. Got Dallas in the house. Oh, we've got someone from Dublin, Ireland. Nice. Love it. Love it. Thank you so much for being here with us. I don't even know how late it is in Ireland, but we're so happy to have you here. Got Texas, in the house. Janice is saying my nephew is a photographer in Vegas, and I told him last night to watch and join. We would love to have your nephew, and your nephew should be making plenty of money this summer. Anybody in Vegas should be making plenty of money this summer. So we've got Siobhan here from Washington. Walter is saying, I'm excited to see Ashley again. Yes, had a chance, great pleasure to talk with her last week. And she's a super busy realtor as well, but she was a lovely person. So y'all are going to learn a lot based on what they're doing. We got North Carolina, we got Miami, Georgia, California, DMV, Tampa Bay. Latanja's asking what's happening in Vegas. Vegas is opening up. So Lord only knows what's going to be happening in Vegas. We're here in YouTube. We've got Georgia, Florida, St. Louis, Missouri. I see you in YouTube. Everyone come on through. We've got Facebook here. We've got Crystal from Norcross, Georgia. We've got Ebony here, loving my curls as well. Thank you so much. I shall let my stylist know that y'all love it. We got Eugenia here as well, and Callie. I need to call you, Eugenia. We just need to catch up. So fantastic. So we have a couple of announcements while we're waiting on our guests to get together. So we have announcements. Number one is if you are a member of the 10K Project and you're not receiving the text messages, if you're not receiving the text messages for the Bet on Black pitches, I'm going to put the number here now. I'm also going to put it in the chat. I did not have a chance to send the text today. So the text is going out this evening sometime, as well as the Bob Zoom link as well. But you want to text 10K to 202-410-4202 if you want to receive the text messages to notify you when the Bet on Black pitches occur. And for those of you who are asking, what in the world is a Bet on Black pitch? What is this 10K Project thing? Someone just told me to show up. Well, we have a surprise for everyone today because 10K Project is moving up to the next level. What do I mean by that? Ladies and gentlemen, we have an explainer video. 3D explainer video. We're going to show it off to you now. It explains what the 10K Project is, what we're doing it, and it's something you can easily share with your friends as well. So I'm going to share the sound, hopefully on my computer. And let's see, Tawana, you can let me know if you hear it.
Are you an everyday person who loves our community but feels like you can't make an impact simply because you don't have a lot of money? Are you interested in building wealth? To build wealth in our community, we must first build up our Black entrepreneurs. One of the most underestimated investment opportunities is the Black business owner. In traditional markets, most of us are unable to invest in early-stage companies like wealthy families do. Wealthy people buy shares early in a business and participate in the profits if and when the company gains traction. As early investors, they make most of the investment returns. Now, we can do the same. At the 10K Project, we have created an ecosystem where everyday people can invest in Black-owned businesses. Here's how it works. Entrepreneurs from various industries come to our community and pitch their business ideas to us. This is done through what we call a Bet on Black pitch. Investors within the community can listen to the pitch, and each individual person decides if he or she wants to fund that company. And product and service providers can add themselves to our expert directory. Examples include attorneys, accountants, web developers, construction professionals, and others. Individuals with consumer products are also encouraged to add themselves to the directory. If a business or community member is looking for your products or services, they are encouraged to search the directory and reach out to you directly. This is how we circulate the Black dollar longer in our community and how we build wealth together. We want to invite you to become a member of the 10K Project. As a member, you can attend our Bet on Black pitches, enter your business information into our expert directory, access our expert directory to find Black-owned businesses, Receive equity crowdfunding investor training and resources. Learn more about alternative investments during our members-only wealth building webinars. Participate in peer-to-peer wealth building conversations and enjoy exclusive content within our Knowledge Center. We have the power to create jobs, profit from our own innovation, circulate the Black dollar in the community through group economics, elevate Black business growth, and build generational wealth. If you want to make a major impact as an investor, then become a member of the 10K Project and join our movement.
All right, everybody. Yes, put an exclamation point in the chat. Let us know if you are feeling our, yay, we got hand claps, we got exclamation points. We love it. Very well
Nice.
done. Thank you so much.
And I did pin it in our Facebook group. So if anybody wants to pull it down and share it, please, please, please share it.
Yes, absolutely. So the final thing is tomorrow night, if you are an entrepreneur that wants to raise capital, anywhere from $10,000 to $5 million, tomorrow night we have Elizabeth Carter, attorney, crowdfunding attorney expert, coming to talk about the process. We do this a couple of times a month. We have different people coming on, from coaches to accountants. Tomorrow night happens to be an attorney. So she's going to talk about the process from the legal point of view. That is tomorrow at 6 p.m. Eastern time. You can go to the10kproject.com. Anyone can attend, whether or not you're a member, so you can register for that. And then tomorrow evening, we have another special Bet on Black pitch, 8 p.m. Be there, be square, or watch the replay. The replay always goes out about 11 p.m. in the evening once it renders and everything. So you all should be able to see that. Okay.
And tomorrow's industry is health tech.
Ooh, this is going to be a good one. I happen to know, we both happen to know the entrepreneur. So, all right, Antoine, you are on. First of all, Walter is asking how he can get his hands on that shirt that you have.
I actually found this shirt just by Googling and finding out it was just different t-shirts on Facebook, and I ordered me a couple of different ones. I guess it's one stop shop.
Okay.
Okay.
So,
all right.
another Black business. I bought it from a black business.
I hope so.
You don't know sometimes.
Sometimes you
That's
don't
true.
know when you get it online. Sometimes you don't know.
That's true. That's true. Okay, then. So I'm going to keep looking out for Ashley. I guess that she is coming. But why don't we start off with you? You are a 10K Project member, and you and I have been speaking for a while. You've been on the books for a while, too, I have to admit. But we first started talking because when we did our family bank series, you said, Cherie, my family started a family bank. You have your daughter involved, things like that. You started telling me that you're buying real estate, you're buying assets within the family bank, and you all are doing some amazing things. So I'm going to give you the floor for like 10, well, let's say 7 minutes. 7 minutes. Tell us a little bit more about, why you got involved with the 10K Project, what you're doing with your family bank, like what the trajectory is for you, and more importantly, how we can buy this land
together
and make a huge impact for generations to come.
Yes. So definitely it's been an awesome trip since before COVID and during this, with everything happening across the US, with the killings and the different things, racism. And definitely I wanted to make sure that history, that I was a part of it. I wasn't going out and doing marches, but I was making sure I was watching, I was sharing things, but I definitely wanted to do something different than just, I had already had a nonprofit, already had some other businesses, but definitely being something that I can give back to my Black community, something that I can pass on to my daughter, definitely, as we talked about generational wealth. And then actually one of my cousins in Brooklyn, she actually wound up getting real sick with COVID. And so definitely that was something about, happening in our family that was very close to our hearts. And then to understand that we could be more wealthy right now and be able to take care of ourselves and do more things with ourselves. So definitely I got more involved in not just history, but learning about stocks and working with my Black Chamber of Commerce, working with my the Urban League and the NAACP, learning about more about the community and knowing that economics is one of those main things that we're missing in our communities. So definitely I want to share things with my daughter, you know, and not just keep it to myself. So on my, during the summertime when I had my daughter with me, basically I gave her $700 to buy stocks. So we actually talked about buying stocks and we picked out 22 stocks. She went on from the Cash App and she picked out what stocks she wanted and everything. And then I got her our account and everything, and she bought the stocks. And then every month I'll go ahead and update her, and she buys stocks on her own. So now during that time period, as we're getting involved with the 10K project, watching you all, and then the family bank came on. Now, like I'm excited about this. I want my own family to do this. So definitely, I started sharing that information with my family. And at that time, my cousin, she definitely wanted to do something more with the family because, you know, she almost lost her life and she has kids and stuff, and she wants to be something more. So then we started having meetings, and I told them about the book. I told them about the 10K project. They started watching it. You know, my cousin came on here once or twice and stuff. And then my sister, and we just came together because my sister is the operations person, admin person. My brother is the vice president. My cousin is the president. So we pick, you know, positions and everything. We have an operating agreement. We have monthly meetings now. We've already started investing. Well, not investing. We started bringing money together as an investment club for our family. We picked a bank. We picked a Black bank and put it inside there. We have monthly investments, and then we started talking about financial things, about stocks and real estate, just as a family, and knowing that we could build together with our own education, and then deciding, okay, now let's look at, as we save money, what are we going to be investing in? What are we going to actually put our money towards? You know, so that's the big thing.
So let me stop you right there, because people are asking, what book are we referring to? What's a family bank, etc. So we do have a lot of new people here, and I'm grateful for that. So let's start from the beginning. Tawana, I didn't know if you were picking up the book itself, but
I am. I'm running to get it.
She's going to run to get the book. Okay, so here is the story. I belong to this group called the Retired Military Officers Association, and it's full of Black men and women who were officers in the military. Some of the most dynamic people you'll ever meet in your life. Well, one of them was a gentleman named Colonel Frank Preston. Unfortunately, he passed last year in September, but in July, he came to the 10K project and introduced this concept of a family bank. And that's introducing it to us because our counterparts know, well, wealthy counterparts know what it is already, right? But his family started off with $25 per month per family member, eventually got up to $100 per month per family member, never went above that, and now has 7 figures in assets and cash in their family bank. So if you're a member of the 10K project, you're able to go into our knowledge center and put in family bank and find that initial hour-and-a-half long session that we did where we interviewed that family from nuts to bolts, I felt, where we asked them, you know, how'd you get started? How much money did you put in? Did you only have family in, or did you have friends? What happens if family members who don't participate in putting money in, depositing into the family bank, want to come and withdraw from the family bank? All of those questions were answered within that family bank session. So that's what a family bank is. We broadened the concept of a family bank. Traditionally, a family bank was depositors within your family, like putting money together, and then you being able as a family member to go to the family bank and ask for a loan for student loan, you know, for college, or to start a business or things like that. But the family that we interviewed, the Black family, said it's bigger than that. They started doing private investments. They started being private equity people with their family bank. They now we see family banks buying land and real estate and tax liens and all of the alternative investments that we talk about. You also legally have the ability to set your family banks up as trust and things like that, so that you're able to pass your wealth down from one generation to the next a lot more easily than going through probate and all of that stuff. So Tawana has the book. The original book that was written was Family Wealth. It is on Amazon. It is by James Hughes Jr. And also, if you remember the 10K project, we did, what was it, 8 sessions? Something like that?
Yes,
8 sessions where we had different experts coming in and talking about how to start your family bank. Legal person, accounting, people coming in. We have bonus sessions where people came in and talked about how you can invest in debt, how you can buy businesses using your family bank. I'm sorry?
Financial planning.
The financial planning. My favorite person actually was 2 people. It was session number 3. We had a family therapist come in and talk about how to talk to your family, especially your elderly family, who may be skittish about wills and things like that. And then we had an estate planner. Well, she wasn't an estate planner. She's an estate planning consultant.
Right?
She's an estate planning consultant come in. And to me, that was like my favorite. We learned so much in that session. But Antoine, did you have more to add with regards to the family bank sessions that we had and the challenge?
Yeah, because even with my family, we actually started talking about wills and talking about insurance policies and really just talking. So part of we have an agenda, and part of the book say making an agenda and stuff. Just the whole point of talking about different things, having icebreakers, and we have, a set amount of family members, and we say, okay, this is enough for right now. And as we go on and everything, we may add on other family members, but underneath each family member, you can have other members that join and split that money. That's the beauty of it, because now as one family member, everyone under your household can split that monthly amount and stuff. And so it's not a bearing on you individually. But the whole point too is it made it whereas it's a collaboration, it's your family coming together. I mean, it's good that it's Zoom now, because of COVID, but we got to actually talk more, and that becomes that taboo financial language that we never speak with our families sometimes, and just understanding about debts and stuff. And we share different tips and trades. And now we have a book that we're going to be going through each month, a financial book. And so definitely reading together and learning together with our family bank.
Yeah. So one of the things, Antoine, that you told me you do with your family is you watch the Bet on Black pitches together.
Yes.
So everybody, again, the Bet on Black pitch is within the 10K project. Every Tuesday at 8 p.m., we feature a Black entrepreneur, and they come and they pitch their business in front of the community. It's really a presentation. They present their product, they talk about what their growth plans are, and then you as the community members get a chance to ask that entrepreneur questions. And then if you like that business, you as an individual gets to decide that you want to invest in that business, and you're able to invest as an individual. What Antoine does is he and his family bank members, I should say, get together to watch the pitch together, and they make decisions as a family as to whether or not they're going to add that to their portfolio. So you want to talk a little bit more about that as well?
Yeah, the funny thing was because while we was having our last meeting, I was talking about the pitches, and I shared the videos and different things. And so it was actually at the same time, the young lady with the shoes, what's her name? Salome Monet.
Salome Monet.
Yeah, Salome Monet.
And most of my family members are women. So they were like, what? They was on the computer going to the shoe website and everything, asking me how they can invest and everything. So it was like off the hook. So they already started investing and buying shoes and stuff just from the Bet on Black, from that opportunity. And they said they remember her from the other magazines and different things, and was already, my cousin already set up a consultation during the meeting. During our family meeting. She didn't even wait to the end. So it was just interesting that we can actually, as a family, look at other Black people out there who have companies, and we can have equity in it and have ownership, and I can say to my daughter that this company right here, we have ownership in it. Our family has ownership in it.
Right, right. So, and I will say personally, many of you know I'm a business plan writer, and personally, I get so giddy and excited when I've written a business plan for a company and then I see it come to life, whether it's on a shelf or whether I walk into the brick and mortar or anything like that. When you get that, when you actually see, for example, we're going to be investing in things where you will see the product up close, and it may bring a tear to your eye, you may be happy, you may be jumping up and down, whatever, but there's no feeling like it when you see it and you're like, I own a piece of this and I helped get this here. So I can definitely prepare you for that. But let's move then back to the idea of using not just our family banks, but bringing our families together to buy land. So you were successfully able to reach out to the families that bought at the time, 97 acres in 97 acres in Georgia. Since then, Ashley told us that they have over 500 acres now. Talk to us a little bit about how you did that, how you got in touch with them, some of the things that you learned. I'm hoping that they still have a chance. Ashley still has a chance to come on. I don't see her yet, but
well, I did one of Tawana's key words, and I heard her the other night: due diligence. So I did my due diligence, and I was watching their video. So at that time, as I'm going through the 10K project, I was learning about them. Their video went viral. And so I started following them. I got with Ashley, and she had a night where she had 50 or 60 people watching or listening to her and answering questions. I went to 2 of her sessions. She's been on different videos and stuff. We watched those videos. I have a co-founder, a part of my organization. So then we started saying, well, when we have a business family bank, so we said, okay, let's put money together, but then let's learn about what we're doing. Let's learn about the land. So we had a group. So I actually have a group on Facebook that has about 70 people in it who are interested in buying land with other Black individuals. And every week we've been doing some type of education, from crowdfunding to investment clubs to different things. When it comes on the 10K, we share it with our group, and then we say, okay, this is something else we want to learn more about. We want to learn about the family bank. We had the book as for a month itself as a book club book for our reading and everything. We talked about the book on live with some of the other individuals, and then we just kept on going. And so now that's what we're doing. We're just learning more, building more, and now we're saying, okay, let's go ahead and have a group. So now we have a group of people who are interested in joining us and buying land together as Black people, and just not us making money off it, but actually saying in history, and that's why it's 40 acres for us, really the 40 acres that we should have received back in history in 1865, how about we go ahead and not wait for someone to give it back to us? Let's go ahead and buy it and stuff. And let's go ahead and make sure that we pass it down to our kids, and that we make sure it's generational wealth. And so that we're not passing around the GoFundMe plate every time someone passes away. Let's make sure we have our wills, our insurance, and everything. So part of what we're doing is that we're saying, let's go ahead and have an investment of 40 families to buy 40 acres plus in different states. And we want to, Ashley has already agreed to be our advisor. And then 2 of the families from the 19 families is actually on our team. Nice. So we're already off on a good start by watching you all, by building. We have documents already in place. We're already talking about a tech platform that'll show our equity and show how we're investing together. And then we're looking at other investment opportunities. So it's not just buying land. We're saying, how do we make sure we have generational wealth with other equity things that we invest together? Let's also look at what the families are doing. So not just to buy the land, but let's go ahead and say, how are we building our credit? How are we building our money? Where are the banks that we're putting in? Does everyone in your family have insurance policies? That financial wellness is going to become big time in what we're doing. So we're going to actually have the 40 acres for us is one name itself, but will be a DBA with Freedom Virginia Initiative. And I told Ashley that almost 7 months ago. And she was like, oh, all right. It's becoming real now that we're going to be their cousins.
Nice. I love that, Antoine. That is awesome. for so long, we've talked about this before, 10K, for so long, people have said we cannot come together as a people and build, right? You know, there's lack of trust and all of these other things that they want us to believe about each other. And you are dispelling the myth, right? You are saying, absolutely not. That is not true. This is possible. Ashley's been able to show and prove. Now you're getting ready to show and prove. You know, together is how we're going to get this thing done. And the more of us that trust each other, it's the way to do it.
Yeah, and it's beautiful how not only are we talking about cooperative economics with the money, but cooperative economics with resources and education and people. So 2 or 3 people that came on the 10K project, we're already working with him. We've already talked to the young lady who came on and talked about the lost land across the US and everything. We sat down and talked to her. So it's becoming, those resources are becoming our due diligence in building this, and that we're not just doing it off of a whim, but we're doing this with information and true understanding and training. We have probably about 7 or 8 professionals that we meet every other Thursday night with accountants, insurance individuals, financial specialists, lawyers, some tech people. So, because we're going to actually build tech off of this too. Our goal is actually to look at all the Black farms across the U.S. and how do we put them in a database? And if they're losing their land, how do we go ahead and become that venture capitalist organization to help them save their lands so it can stay into Black hands?
I love this. This is awesome. So the group is called 40 Acres for Us. It's a Facebook group.
Well, right now it's called Land Buying, Black Land Buying. I'll make sure I say the right words.
Yeah, because you're getting ready to get some new members on that group. So let's say it right. You know, we got 118 people in here watching.
It is called Black Land Buying, Investing and Hemp Farming Collaborative. And I didn't even mention the hemp farming because we got it. That's another contact from Sunjoin. He was one of your first and second guests.
We love Lamar. Lamar is awesome.
Lamar.
Yeah.
So I reached out to his company. I've been watching his videos. Definitely, we're looking at his company that we are investing. Vertileaf is another company that we're looking at connecting with that helps you to do hemp, because hemp is a $450 billion industry that African Americans are not in. So we want to make sure that we get other African Americans involved and stuff in the cannabis arena as well as the hemp arena and stuff, and basically making sure our farmers, with our fruits, vegetables, and everything, that we have the essentials. So just like Ashley in the Freedom Georgia initiative, having those utilities and making sure they have a community, we want to do that in other communities across the US so that we do have, as Black communities together, we can have our own police officers, our own mayors, our own city council members, all that, our own, and own it. And tell your kids, you own this. I would love that. And I talked to one of my friends, I said, I want to be able to say, give them a certificate, not only for their parents, but for their kids. And they can take it to show and tell and say, I own land.
I love that. Oh my goodness, that's what's up. That's the best show and tell ever. Yes. That is wonderful. It looks like somebody put it in the chat. They were asking for the link in the chat. Looks like we have it in there.
Okay.
What I love about what you're doing most, obviously the collaboration is amazing, but what I love is the education component, and that you are gaining the knowledge to set this up in the most legal way, right? So that's important, right? Because it is very, I'm proof positive that it is possible for strangers to come together and build wealth, right? I'm doing it currently with a group, but you got to have the business in order, right? So all of those things that have to be in place to protect every member so that the growth can stay in the community and the wealth can stay in the community. And we can, again, get past that myth of us not being able to work with each other because somebody ran off and stole the money and all this other foolishness that we know possibly happened, right? But it is not our reality. It does not have to happen. We can do this in a way where everyone is educated. And it sounds like that's exactly what you're doing by having the specialists come and reading books and all of those things to educate everyone. I said it jokingly, but I would imagine a good number of the 120 of us, including myself, are getting ready to join that group. So get ready for the influx.
We're looking at So and this is what we told Ashley, we love everything they're doing inside Georgia, and definitely we want to collaborate. I've already invested, in donating through their club and their organization. But then the whole point is that what we want to do is build a model. If we build this model of financial literacy, financial understanding, of generational wealth building, as well as investing in other Black companies, and the point of saying the education point is the main part and everything. I spoke to one of our new who's going to be one of our Plank owners or new co-founders too, and she says she definitely wants to teach everybody about Forex and stock and everything. So that'll be one of our investments underneath the whole umbrella itself. So now when we buy land, now we're talking about all the different types of investments, and our 40 families become multi investment opportunities. So we're definitely looking at how do we build these original 40 families. And so we've already said that we definitely want to have professionals. So 10 of the families will be professionals, from the lawyers to accountants to all the financial specialists, having those degrees and everything. 10 of the families, definitely we want to look at who wants to actually come on board and invest together, and has those. Well, I had a meeting this weekend with my original people, and I said, y'all going to be our worker bees. And some people don't want to be the worker bees, and that's okay and everything. When we do crowdfunding and everything later on, you just invest. But our worker bees, we want you to be able to know the knowledge, look at the tech stuff, look at what things we're going through, connect with the hemp farming, bring that education back, talk about it throughout the week and stuff, and so that we can build on it. And then we're definitely looking at 10 of those families in the different states that'll be those probably low-income families, but have 4 to 5 generations that are in that family. Because we want to make sure that when we do this, we want to work on that leakage, the generational leakage and the wealth leakage. Because now when we look at 4 to 5 generations, grandma is still alive, the husband and wife, and we look at those industries, now we invest together. Now the high schoolers, the elementary and the baby, you're looking at 10 years going forward. Now they actually have a lot of the disparities taken away when we invest in the whole family, and the whole family learns about land buying. The whole family learns about other industries that Black people should be in, and that education piece becomes a 10-year educating.
Yeah, this is the long game we're playing here.
Yes,
this is not
yes.
a quick fix. This is the long game. Let's take a minute and talk a little bit about the leakage that you just remembered, so that everybody here with us tonight can understand what that is. And I'll go back to how we started with your t-shirt, right? So you've got this great, Black impactful t-shirt on, right? That's going to catch the eye of anybody who's socially conscious. And you ordered that, you believe, from a black vendor, right?
Yes.
But what we don't know is where that Black entrepreneur got the shirt from, right? Who created the design for him or her? And did they stay in the community for those pieces of the project, right? Or did they have to go out somewhere? We did a free gift for for the founding members of 10K. And I, went all over trying to find a Black entrepreneur that could fulfill me what I needed. And I thought I was doing something until I got on the phone with him. We had a shipment issue. And I got on the phone with him and he said, I've got to call my contact in Indonesia. I was like, well, LB, I thought I was doing something, right? by buying Black. And here he is getting the equipment and stuff from Indonesia. So that Black dollar doesn't stay here in this community very long at all.
6 hours.
What you said, Antoine?
6 hours, they say.
6 I've heard 8 hours, but 6 hours is probably right too. So 6 hours it stays in our community. Imagine if we were the manufacturer, right? Imagine if we were the person on the wheel spinning the silk, right? And making the material. Imagine if we did all of those things and then we shopped within our own ecosystem, then we would definitely decrease, but ultimately we have the power to eliminate this issue of leakage, so that we keep our dollar and it grows within our community first. And then if we decide to do something else with it, that's our choice. But right now we're doing something with it because we're kind of forced to, because we don't have those other ancillary services where we can benefit from it. So, that I'm glad you brought that up, Antoine, because that's how we're going to combat generational wealth.
Because we talked about, basically, I had another individual or group, part of another. So we're looking at, we connected to different investment clubs. During that 1 month, we had a month of learning about investment clubs. We had 2 guest speakers. One young lady that's local that has her own, she flips houses. She has about another company that she buys houses. She has a women's group that's flipping houses. She actually has a whole investment club with about 50 people in it, and they do Forex and they do houses and they do a whole bunch of things. But that's the whole point, is that she actually was inviting us to be a part of that. But then we talked about basically in the trucking or the housing. She said that we were trying to get into business in the different parts and pieces and parts, so that we're not always buying from someone else, we're buying from ourselves. So that became a
Yeah.
big opportunity to look at that.
Yeah, I mean, look, we started with the 10K project, that was one of the things that I kept saying. And we are going to be releasing our economic report in the fall. But I believe that we need to be purposeful, ultimately purposeful about the companies that are coming onto the 10K project. And one of the things that Tawana and I have talked about behind the scenes with some other people is, how do we start going out and recruiting those businesses that we can then, cultivate, nurture within the 10K project, fund them, provide business services for them, so that we are able ultimately to make sure that they have the resources, the people, et cetera, that they need to be successful. And we have identified 6 primary industries that we're looking at. And one of them is logistics. So trucking and, pallets and all sorts of stuff I don't even know about, but I know some of you out there know about these things, right? Agriculture is another one. One that I didn't necessarily want at first, but somebody convinced me of it, was the entertainment industry. Yes, it's nice for us to be in front of the camera, but who's behind the camera? Who's writing? Who's doing the distribution, et cetera? So we're looking at 6. Those are 3. The other 3, either I sprinkle over time, or you'll definitely read about it in the economic report. But now all of a sudden we're talking about being purposeful with our investment, and not just saying, oh, that looks great, let's invest in that. But having a strategy like some of our counterparts do, of what we're going to be doing. So we've had some great comments in here as well, Antoine.
I want
Let's see
to
here.
say one of the other things too.
I think you're breaking up a
Oh,
little.
I think he's breaking
One of the
up.
things that I'm breaking up. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, you were breaking up. I think you're a little bit better now.
Okay, so when I said part of the Bet on Black, not only do I research the companies and research the founders, but I research their teams. So what's interesting also, the Dashable company, one of the founders, they both were military, and I was in the Navy for 10 years as a nuclear electrician, and one of the founders is a nuclear electrician. I connected with him, and his app is in New York. All my family is in New York. So they have been testing the app. They looking at investing in it. I'm investing in it. But then we talk privately, and he may come on board with my other team to be my IT person and build out a platform for us.
Love it.
You can network with different Black inventors and Black founders and create your own business.
Yeah, you broke up a little bit, Antoine, but so it's funny that you say that, because Marvin and Tony are the Dashable guys. And when I talked to them the first time, I shared one of the shortcomings about something we were doing. And I was like, we really need a solution for this. And shortly after their pitch, they reached out and was like, hey, we think we can help you with your solution that you're looking for. And so that's the kind of power that we have, right? There's nothing in it for them, nothing at all. They just reached out and wanted to help. So to hear you say that you guys have connected also and are going to do something, That's the power of what we're doing here. It's contagious. We all have the desire. We want to help each other. We want to connect and do this, right? Somebody's got to take the first step, right? Someone's got to take the first step so that the next person can take the first step. And we're kind of doing that here with the 10K project. We're taking the first step. I'm not going to claim credit for what Antoine is doing with his family, because he deserves that and his family deserves that. But I am so glad we were able to play just a small part in that, right? To kind of ignite that fire in you guys. And if we all do that, think of the impact we can make.
Yeah.
This is not rocket science. We can do this.
Yes. And I'm so glad you brought up the Black people can't work together, because that drives me crazy too.
Me too.
You know, look, there are some of every group of people that can't work together, but then there are those of us who can. And
I think Ashley's in there. No.
Oh, Ashley is here?
Oh, awesome. There she is right there.
Oh, I see her. Yes. And promote her. Good, because the question I was going to ask was going to be about from George about the thoughts of turning the land into an incorporated municipality. And I know that Ashley had been talking about that. So you're on mute, my dear. Hello, Ashley. Hi.
Hey, everybody. How's it going?
It's good. How are you doing
It's
today?
a pleasure. I'm doing well today. Thank you so much. Sorry I'm late, you guys. But
Oh, that's no
right.
problem. This is like a Zoom bomb, right? Instead of a photo bomb, like you come in and you're like, I'm here.
I'm here.
We're so happy to have you. Oh my goodness. Okay. So we gave Antoine, we're just gonna have you jump right in. We gave Antoine a chance to talk about his family bank, about how he got connected with you. He said that you all got started first because obviously you had made big headlines, and then you had started having some webinars, and he was one of the people that was invited. So why don't we take a step back? Tell everyone who you are, how you started with the 19 families and buying the acres and then buying more acres, just so everyone's able to put the news story together with you.
Well, hey, everybody. I am Ashley Scott. I am a realtor based in Stonecrest, Georgia, and I am the vice president and co-founder of the Freedom Georgia Initiative. The Freedom Georgia Initiative started this summer in June after we witnessed the deaths of, George Floyd. We were all ready to rally and make a big change. And my good friend, Renee Walters, who is our president and co-founder, happened to come across the story about Toomsboro for sale, a town of 40 acres and a historical old town that was for sale for $1.7 million. And we headed out there to check it out. And while we were there, we fell in love with the community, the mayor, the chief of police, the people there. And we searched around that area and ended up finding this 96.71 acres of land that we instantly felt the ancestors say is yours. And when that moment happened, we got together with our friends and our families. Literally that next night, a lawyer friend of ours, and we put together our organization, FGI, and we purchased that 96 acres as a collective of families. We all put up a share of the money to purchase it. And we knew that this particular land could be an opportunity to create a safe haven for us and our families. And I wrote an op-ed article about why we purchased, hey, Crystal, why we purchased this 96.71 acres in the midst of a pandemic and protests, and it went viral. It was on Because of Them We Can. It was picked up by Revolt TV, and the list went on and on. And we had hundreds of emails, thousands of comments, and phone calls that poured in. And we knew that people were really not just proud of what we'd done as 19 Black families buying this land, but they wanted to be a part of living in this type of a community, to be a part of Black cooperative economics in this way. People instantly said, how can I put my money up? How can I buy a piece of land? How can I move? And we knew immediately that 97 acres was not going to be enough. And so in October of this year, our partners, again, we got together and we raised some additional funds so that we could purchase 404 more acres of land. Thank you, right? I'm so excited.
Look, this is the second time you and I have had this conversation, and I'm like so proud again.
Yes.
That is beautiful. Ah,
Thank you. So yeah, we now have 502 acres of land in total. And our goal is not just for this 502 acres of land to become the city of Freedom, Georgia, but for as many Black families as we can inspire to do what Anthony and his group has done and start their communities wherever they are, because that's how we reclaim our power, by reclaiming the land, by making this idea of cooperative economics for us real and tangible, because we see other communities do it time and time again. And our time is now. And that's what we hope that we are going to continue to do. I teach the seminar, How to Buy Land Using Group Economics. And we'll be bringing that seminar back again live after the summer because we've gotten so many requests for it. But in the moment, you can order it, the replay, and be a part of our freedom and legacy building community that Anthony is a part of. So yeah, that's pretty much the abbreviated story because I don't want to take up too much time. But if anybody has,
you can take as much time as you
yeah,
want.
where
People
can
are on
people
fire
order
for
the
you.
replay? Because I know people want the replay. Where can they order the replay?
I'm going to drop it in the chat, but you can go
Awesome.
to my bit.ly, bit.ly/seminar bundle deal. So it's seminar bundle deal. So I'm going to drop it in the chat because that's going to be the easiest way for you guys to link to it and be able to get that. Okay.
Seminar bundle deal.
Yep. And that's going to be all four, because I taught 4 seminars last summer, right after we purchased the land. And they're all different. They all got a different flavor because, you know, people ask different questions and Q's and A's. So it was a really good session, and it comes with a workbook called as well.
And she's all over YouTube also.
And I am on YouTube, so you can Google the Earn Your Leisure, How to Buy Land and Develop Land on YouTube. So you can see that as well. If you want that free game, you can go check out Earn Your Leisure.
Oh, look, y'all, don't be cheap.
Yeah. Some game you got to pay for. That's okay.
Some game you got to pay for. Sometimes you got to go sit under the person's feet, you know, who has actually done it, etc. You know, hopefully when this whole pandemic thing ends, Ashley will have people come to Georgia. Perhaps you get on a plane, get in your car.
And you can come on the plane, because let me tell you something, you guys. We are having our Juneteenth celebration on our 500 acres of land. It's going to be an outdoor camping event. So if you are
I'm a camper. I like that idea.
On to the land.
Oh,
celebration. Okay.
So how do people find out about that? Get on the waiting list? Like, what's the process for that?
Okay. So for our Juneteenth camp out, it's really simple. You have to be a member of the Black Achievement Fund. The Black Achievement Fund is our 501c3 nonprofit partners. They are a national organization with one goal, which is to create economic self-sufficiency for Black people. And so the way that we do that is by bringing 10 million Black Americans together to donate or contribute $9 a month to our 501c3. So y'all know what that means. It's a tax write-off. And then we use that fund to be able to power our dreams like freedom and Freedom Virginia and all the freedoms that are on the way, and the small businesses and people that we support. So the Black Achievement Fund is where you need to go sign up and get the tickets for the Juneteenth celebration. So you're going to visit baf.solutions, not .com, not .org, baf EAF.solutions.
EAF.solutions. And Tawan is already putting her credit
Listen,
card
why
in.
y'all playing? I told you I'm a camper. I'm doing it right now. I'm not waiting for these 123 people to get on later. I'm getting mine right now.
Get yours right now. You got
Yes.
that.
Yes.
So actually, I do want to ask a couple of questions for you, though. Oh, I have a couple of questions based on some of the things that people are putting in here, but also just things that people are going to want to know. So the first is, how did you get 19 families to agree to come together to do this? Walk us through like the psychology. Was everybody like, yeah, we're on board? Where some people were like, yeah, we're on board, but we don't know. Like, what was that like?
So first off, it was relatively easy. That was actually the easiest part. My President Renee always says that, like, we literally made a PowerPoint presentation, and we made the PowerPoint presentation to speak to the hot button points of the people we knew we were going to be reaching out to, right? So we knew we wanted the land that we purchased is recreational, agricultural, and residential. So it's got a lot of opportunity to build. It's also in an opportunity zone. So for our people who are business oriented, we paid the presentation so that we could speak to the profits and the money we would make from buying this land, right? For the people who like to have fun, right? We talked about the recreation. We talked about all of the lakes that we plan to build and the ATVing and the different opportunities for people to come camp. And that was exciting. And then, we have the people who want to help, right? So we made sure that we talked about the social aspects and the farming aspects. So our presentation hit all of those major points. And then, of course, we knew the people that were like-minded, and that would be a good person to be a part of this type of a movement, because you do have to have a certain kind of mindset to be cooperative, to be optimistic in times of challenge. So we really did think hard about, who we were going to ask and who we weren't going to ask. We knew not to ask, the doubting Thomases and the negative Nancys, right? So your tribe, and that's where we started. We started with our tribe. We created a powerful presentation that spoke to the hot parts or the hot buttons of the people who we know we wanted to live in community with. And that's where we got started with. And that was, again, like my sister Renee actually is here. I think she wanted to come get up in this chat and say hello, but
Please.
On.
Bring her on. Yes.
So she'll tell you, like, that part was the easiest part. She said hey y'all.
Hi. Nice to meet you, Renee.
She's like, no, this is your thing. Go ahead.
No. Look, she could have come in too. We love it all. So
I'm
so then what was the hardest part?
An assassin. I'm the one who always be the one that like to be talking and talking and talking.
Oh, goodness. Well, Antoine said we all have to have some worker bees and some visionaries in order for this thing to work. So,
and the people who are fearless, right? Because I remember when everybody was buzzing about Toomsboro, like that was a big conversation. And there were a ton of groups where people were like, let's do it, let's get together. And you did. Like you jumped in there without a fear in the world, and even if you were afraid, you did it anyway. That's the quality that you need on the team.
Yeah, the 97 acres we weren't afraid of. The 404 was a big commitment. That was scary to say, oh gosh, okay, we did the 97, but to go out and fundraise again and then put the money down on a bigger parcel of acre to be able to, create and share this dream with others of my sisters and brothers. Because 19 families is a great start for the 97, but this vision we realized was so much bigger than just us. It's really so many other Black families that really have a vision for the same peace and prosperity and protection and wanting to bring and attract those people to this community and this intentional and strategic thinking, it was scary because, you know, who thinks, oh, I'm gonna buy 100 acres and then jump out and buy 404 more, because it could blow up in our faces if people are like, oh, it's too far, it's 2 hours away from Atlanta, I don't want to live out there, you know. But that has not been the response. People are really excited to partner with us, to move, to get their hands to the plow and really be a part of this historical moment, because that really is what this is. It's been 100 years since we've seen our people do this kind of work and build for ourselves in this way from the ground up and really pioneer our own intentional communities. So it is scary, and you do need to be fearless. So, and even if you aren't fearless, you definitely need to be brave and have that sense that no matter what, as my girl Lisa Nichols says, no matter what, see this through.
Yeah. So Luana is asking, is it really possible to buy property at reasonable rates? So
The land, yes, land is actually what I've been really hoping people will see the vision on, particularly because of this new Green Deal. When you look at the Biden administration and the things that are going on around renewable energy, the things that are going on around environmental justice, the fact that people are relocating and moving from California and other places because of wildfires and things like that, to build and to be a developer right now is a really great idea, especially if you're using alternative materials, because lumber's extraordinarily high. So if you are a visionary and you have the ideals and the goals to begin to start being on the leading edge around this new green energy and green development with products like hempcrete and all of the things that people are doing, now's a really good time to get involved in developing and buying land. The housing market is really tight, and it is really hard right now to build at reasonable prices. But if you've got good credit, if you've got access to capital, and you have a good, strong vision and a good team, now is a great time to buy land and start building, especially using and practicing cooperative economics. What you try to do by yourself is going to be hard. But if you're doing it together as a collective and as a team, it's going to be so much more easier to get it done, because you're going to be functioning at a business level now, and a co-op, and these structures make it a little easier to make these projects happen.
yeah, so somebody earlier today had asked about the municipality, which I know that you and I talked about as well last week. So just start spitting game on this, because it's something that I had not even thought of, but you are turning this land into a real town and a real municipality. So talk to us, first of all, why do that? What are the benefits of that? Because I do know a little bit about that. And then how are you going to do that?
Yeah, so many of the benefits really, so it's called a municipal corporation. Most of the cities and towns that we live in, people don't realize they're just businesses. They're just people who came up together and created a charter, and people are recycling in and out of these job positions, right? And so a municipal corporation and every state does have different laws, but here in Georgia, it starts with, first you have to have a certain land size with a certain amount of density or a certain number of people. So in Georgia, before you can become a municipal corporation, you have to have at least 200 people living in a mile radius, which is about 640 acres. And they have to be living on in close density, which is 5 acres or less. So there's a lot of little moving pieces, and each city, or excuse me, each state is going to have different rules for how to charter a municipal corporation. But it starts with a lawyer. You need to get a lawyer. You need to write your charter. You start that as essentially you're starting a corporation. You're starting a business, and you register it with the state. And then you have to have what's known as services that you provide, municipal services. So that could be, in the state of Georgia, libraries, firefighters, EMTs. It could be your road and transportation providers, your garbage providers, your water utility company. So you have to be providing at least 3 of those types of services to your actual 200 residents. When you are, once your charter is approved and then voted on, the people in the community have to vote on it, and then the state has to pass a referendum where people vote on it in the state. Once that happens, it gets signed into law by the state governor, and then you have yourself a city for as long as you maintain the municipal corporation services that they require, because you always have to have at least 3. Now, with that being said, some of the benefits, the main benefit is a whole lot of autonomy. That means we get to create the laws for ourselves. We get to create the types of authority, like economic development authority. We can establish for ourselves bonds and be able to access special funds and grants from the federal government that our team of leaders in our city can then deploy as they see fit for the residents' benefits. So this is what typically happens in all of our communities. But most of the people who are involved in the politics of the city don't look like us. And if they do, they're such political insiders that they may not be making the best decisions for the actual residents. So this is a chance to start a community that is ran and really led by the community residents, and not just people who are political pundits that are, looking out for their getting reelected type situation, right? Like, we just need to really take municipal corporations and the power that they hold to put it back into the hands of people. So really is a chance to educate ourselves on how to be more civically engaged, because when you build your civil politics from the ground up, you have no choice but to be very civically engaged. And so that's for us is the benefits of being a municipal corporation. And there's some downsides to that as well, because when you are a municipal corporation, you do have to follow the federal fair housing laws, and you have to abide around equal opportunity and all the different things that federal laws make states and cities, have to do. Their other benefit, however, is what we all saw is executive order and the privilege to be able, as a mayor of a city, to be able to do what's best for your city under that executive order. And that's something that I really got to see the power of when we started seeing people tearing those Confederate statues down, right? When you started seeing people start writing reparations programs for their cities, when we got to see mayors start talking about living wage programs. That stuff happens at a local level. So we need to get more busy on the local politics. And this is a great way for us to start to get that pioneering spirit and start creating and crafting our own city charters that benefit us.
Perfect. Tawana, Antoine, y'all have more questions?
I don't have more questions, but I geek over amazingness awesome. Like easy. Like, you are such an inspiration. Your whole team. Renee, you too. Like, y'all are so awesome. I'm telling you, just blessings. If people want to be able to one day live on some of this land, what do we do?
Okay. So the first thing you have to do, I'm gonna say it again, you have to become a member of the Black Achievement Fund, because I told y'all about the federal fair housing laws, right? So one of the things we want to do is start building community before we build the community. So when we know who people really are, we can attract those like-minded individuals. So if you really, really want to be a part of Freedom in a meaningful way, become a member of the Black Achievement Fund, come to the lecture series, show up and be an ambassador, come to the Juneteenth camp out, because those are going to be the people who hear about when our plots go up for sale first. And then we'll let the rest of the world know. So,
right. Okay. I'm logged in. I'm just waiting for this to be over so I can read a little bit more and hit enter. I'm ready.
And then if you are not, some people are like, I'm not joining the Black Achievement Fund. If that's you, send us an email. And then when the plots of land are for sale and we are on the other side of this thing, and we've already announced and got our pioneers secured, if we have spots left over, we'll definitely let you guys know about it so that you have the option to be able to move to Freedom. Our
Y'all, I
email,
don't think there are gonna be spots left over. So it's
I'll be trying to give them the hint.
not
Dropping the hint.
so I will say this. I heard about this everywhere. So this is something within the Black community, Black wealth community, Black conscious community. This was everywhere. So if you want to live on this plot of land, I'd suggest you do what Tawana's doing, read through it, do your due diligence, but don't wait.
Don't wait. Don't delay.
Don't wait.
Don't
delay.
wait and
Don't delay with any of these opportunities.
Mm-mm.
Yes.
Make it a priority. Do your due diligence and then act.
That's
we
right.
gotta get rid of that spirit of procrastination because it is not gonna get us where we're trying to be.
That's
Yeah.
right. Absolutely.
Now, Dexter is asking if this is only in Georgia. So I'm gonna let Antoine answer that.
So-
Is this only in Georgia?
So for our plans is to basically cousins with Georgia. So we're starting Freedom Virginia initiative. I told her that almost 7 months ago, and she said,
Yes.
"Oh yeah." She didn't believe me probably, but
I believed you.
but we've already talked to different people in different states. So what we're looking at historically, we have 13 original Confederate states. So the 13 original Confederate states, we're actually looking for 40 families there too, and we're going to actually be bringing them together to do the same thing with the family bank and the due diligence and looking at different things and building a team out of professionals, of accountants and lawyers and real estate agents, just like on the video that Ashley put in the link. Watch that video because she will answer question after question after question. It is a wealth of knowledge. So my team is already putting that together and we're looking at the other states. So definitely join our group itself and we can talk about that. We're also working with our local HBCUs. So we're looking at agriculture being an educational piece, tech being over these land. So more opportunities comes with what we're doing along with it. We're also looking at Juneteenth being that, we talked about Juneteenth as one day. We're looking at taking the whole week this year and then the whole month in 2022, that across the nation, Black families buy land every Juneteenth that truly look at freedom. That'd be our Freedom Month.
Mm-hmm. So Tandanico is claiming Nevada. Everybody, Tandanico is claiming Nevada. And somebody else said West Coast, Latanja, you're saying you're on the West Coast, girl, claim a state.
Claim a state. Work together.
Get plugged in to Ashley and what they're doing and claim the state. And look, somebody's got to lead it. Just like with the 10K project, somebody had to lead it. Thank God for Tawana. She's in charge.
That is not.
But if you feel it on your heart to do something, somebody's got to lead it, put one foot in front of the other, and other people will come on board. So Monique is asking, came in late, what video link? Monique, you missed a lot.
So Monique, you gotta just watch the replay, baby girl. You gotta watch the replay.
You missed a lot, Monique. So with that, we want to, Walter is claiming Colorado and Oklahoma. Yeah, so we have various people. Josh was claiming California as well. So I love it. All of you California people, get together. We've got Angela claiming Michigan. So hey, I love it. Love it. Okay.
I wanted to
Oh,
throw
and
something.
Okay,
Ashley,
wait a
you
minute.
just have
I'm
it going
about
to
to stop. I got to
panelists
do
and
a
not to
shameless
everybody.
plug.
So I'm going to put your email in here for everybody because you just sent it to the panelists.
Okay. Oh, please. I'm sorry. I didn't realize that.
So don't be
But I
sorry. I
will
just want to let you know.
What I will say is this: we've been back and forth to Detroit, Michigan. We love Michigan. There's a big fight going on right now with the Detroit Legacy Program. The cannabis industry, you guys, is $1 billion industry. And we went to prison for small petty crimes around this cannabis industry. And now canna mamas that don't look like us are benefiting from the plant. And a lot of white corporations, multi-state operations are working very hard to make sure that social equity programs are not getting the leadway that they need to even the playing field for Black Americans. So if you are in Michigan, y'all make some noise. Y'all start supporting the Detroit Legacy project. Y'all go Google "We Are Detroit Legacy," because if y'all don't get this right in Detroit, where it's 83% Black, nobody else is going to get this right. And we have an industry that we can be on the cutting edge of, that we deserve to be on the cutting edge of, and that we should be doing everything we can to make sure that we lobby and we campaign to ensure social equity programs like the Detroit Legacy Program get passed, and that they continue to actually put profits and opportunities for Black cannabis access on the table for us. So make as much noise about that as y'all can. And y'all get involved with the Black Achievement Fund, because that's how y'all get active with us. This is your new version of the NAACP, but we ain't that. We are about economic empowerment, because that's where everybody, at the end of the day, that's where we fell short in the civil rights movement, was our silver rights. So we definitely need to start taking over as many of these new emerging industries: cannabis, renewable energy, green development. Let's go hard and build these family banks and these family offices and these family businesses, and we go crush the game, and we own it from the rooter to the tutor, as they say. Okay. Own it from the very infrastructure. That is how we create generational wealth.
And let me piggyback off of Ashley, because that's one of the things that, I'm a big proponent of. If it's not being done, let's do it. And so big time, definitely there's numerous organizations out there, and I think that African Americans are not in the tech field as much as we should be, and we're not in the cannabis and hemp field. So what I did in the state of Virginia, I reached out to Blacks in Tech, in technology, national organization in 40 different countries across the US and stuff. So I became the actual chapter president for Virginia. And so I'm working with those 40 chapters, and we're bringing tech to Virginia, and then we're promoting Black people in those tech fields. But at the same time, I learned about cannabis and the medicinal things. I'm a vet, knowing definitely that it helps in numerous ways. So Minorities for Medical Marijuana, social equity. I'm the state director for Minorities for Medical Marijuana in the state of Virginia. And then, so I'm working with those organizations, working with those chapters to truly get the information, do my due diligence and stuff, and work alongside with them and have them teach us along the way. So definitely that's what we're looking at doing, hemp on our lands when we buy it. And just 5 acres, they were saying, can bring in $10,000 to $20,000 a month itself. That's right there, investment, and bringing in other investments into our Black businesses throughout the US.
Absolutely. So, well, I have been very blessed by tonight's conversation. Obviously, it could go on and on for a while, but Ashley, I'm sure she'll be back. We definitely are going to extend the olive branch to her. Antoine, of course, is here every single week. He has his
Yes.
information here. You all can email me info@the10kproject.com. And I'll connect you with Antoine if you want to talk about what he's doing. And, somebody asked, is there like a national association of Black towns and communities? I don't know, Antoine, it starts everything else. That may end up being his thing where where all the towns and communities come together, just like you have a National Association of
Yes.
Black Mayors and a National Association of everything. So yes. So with that, any final words, Antoine? Any final words?
Just get involved. Definitely get involved in your Black Chamber of Commerce. I'm going through an accelerated program with 5 businesses starting next week. Definitely get involved in your local organizations. Look out for Ashley because they're going to be doing awesome things. Check me out in the Facebook group itself, and so we can learn together. So it's definitely learning and education and financial wellness. My 15-year-old daughter, I was able to tell her I'm going to be on the 10K project tonight with hundreds of Black people talking with Ashley and Cherie and stuff and learning. And this is what you're going to inherit from me later on in your life.
Yeah, your daughter will one day come to you and say, "Dad, what am I inheriting? What am I getting? Can we write that down on a balance sheet?" Ashley, you have any final words for the family?
I just want to say thank you. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you so much for listening. If you guys want to get in touch with me, please do not hesitate to reach out. On Instagram, Ashley Scott KW. My personal email is also ashleyscott@kw.com. I am easily accessible, ashleyscotthomes.com. Y'all stay connected with me. Please follow Freedom Georgia 2020 on Instagram. And you guys, if you have not signed up for the Black Achievement Fund, please visit www.baf.solutions. And yes, tell them Ashley Scott sent you. Put my name in the referral box, please, and thank you. And I love you guys. And stay
Love you
encouraged.
too. Thank you so much, Ashley. Joy, we'll be sure to send out Ashley and Antoine's information by email sometime this week. Okay, everybody, tomorrow night, Bet on Black Pitch. And for my entrepreneurs, if you want to raise capital, that's at 6 p.m. Bet on Black Pitch at 8 p.m. tomorrow night. Take care, everybody.